The Gift to the Woods. Last October, my dad and I set out deep into the backwoods to pick cranberries in the bogs. The place was so remote that aside from the occasional logging truck rumbling through, hardly anyone ever came that way. We drove as far as the narrow forest track allowed, parked on the edge of a small clearing, and set off with baskets in hand, filling them with bright red berries under the pale autumn sky. Hours slipped by quietly, until at last we turned back toward the car, and the weather changed. The air turned colder, and a heavy fog began rolling in from across the bog, curling between the pines. Dark clouds gathered overhead, and the light seemed to vanish in moments. When we reached the spot where we'd parked, we stopped short, hearts sinking. The car had vanished. The road we'd taken was still there, clear as before, and another track led deeper into the woods, but the clearing itself stood empty and silent. Dad's face went pale. Without saying a word, he began pacing around the clearing, eyes scanning the ground for tracks or signs, but found nothing. He looked rattled, dropped his basket, spilling berries into the moss, and cursed under his breath. Then he paused, took out his cigarettes, and seemed to remember something older than fear. "All right," he muttered quietly. "Let's do it the old way." Raising the cigarette pack over his head, he spoke into the mist. "Spirit of the woods, thank you for your gifts today, for your bounty. Please accept this offering from us in gratitude." I stood frozen, barely breathing. Dad placed the pack of cigarettes, some matches, and his old cigarette holder under the branches of a pine at the clearing's edge. Then he turned, his voice calm again, and told me to follow. We hadn't walked far at all before the fog around us began to thin. And then, as if it had never been missing, there it was, our car, sitting quietly where we'd left it, surrounded by fallen leaves. The clearing looked the same, unchanged, but it felt as if we'd stepped out of something we didn't quite understand. Neither of us spoke much on the ride home, both lost in thought. Even now, I can't fully explain what happened that day. Some might call it the fog playing tricks, or tired eyes. But to me, it felt like something deeper, a quiet moment of respect paid to the unseen. And sometimes, when mist curls through the trees at dusk, I still hear my dad's voice echoing in the hush of the woods, and wonder if, just maybe, the forest really did answer back.